Alright, guys, welcome back. Kobe's out of the picture.
I don't understand. We center it up so
dead.
Kobe's in the picture, and he's just gone.
Press that button with my fat finger, and that pig just refuses to cooperate. I hate that fucking thing. I was talking it up, too. Maybe next week for the show we'll have two pigs.
Yeah, we'll do two pigs.
We'll do
next
two
time.
pigs, hold it up a little better.
That'll work.
One black, one white to be a little more racially equal.
That makes sense.
Actually, at this point right now, we have a black pig, so we are an equal opportunity employer.
Yep.
So no
Yeah.
racism on this couch.
Right.
Last week we caught you from my wife's living room.
Yeah.
I say my wife's living room because I have nothing to do with that house at all. This week we're actually in Mike's apartment. So
Yeah.
we're even more mature than ever.
It's
honestly.
super, yeah. I did clean, though. I did clean a little bit.
Yeah, because there's table space.
Yeah. Yeah. There's,
This is good.
and, like, the mounds of, like, pizza boxes and beer bottles are gone, so, you know, it's a little,
Yeah, we've been getting more responsible
Yeah.
in general. Really, today we did
Nice.
cardio. We did
yeah,
we didn't run a whole consecutive 20 minutes because we didn't feel like it.
right.
We didn't even run. We played tennis. We made it one set.
Yeah.
You know, that's good
Yes.
for us. So
Yeah,
it was
not bad.
you know, we had some volleys. We looked pretty good. People were watching, I assume.
Yeah, I think people were really impressed
Mhm.
with us again, so. I
Yeah,
think
so they're following us pretty closely, and we'll keep you posted how our tennis progress comes.
yeah, yeah, we definitely will.
I think you've really molded your game after Angie Kerber.
I think
and,
so.
I've went much more Venus with the gorilla effect. That was a
That part
ridiculous
was
story.
that was so stupid.
That was a bad story.
Yeah.
And we'll get maybe to that later.
Yeah.
um,
Let's go to the Pac-12.
the Pac-12 North.
Washington, we have going 11-1. Jake Browning, who we both agree should have been the Heisman Trophy winner last year, is
Definitely.
back. They have a lot of weapons back. And look, Washington used to have that track. And if they had that track, it's all creepy. It's a whole creepy aura there.
It
If they
is.
still had that track, we would run that track. And we'd probably make it around one time in
Mhm.
like 20, 25 minutes.
But
So
we wouldn't stop.
we would not stop.
Not for anything. Yeah, Washington. It's always been a tough place to play too. It's weird there. You know, they've always had talent, and now they have Peterson who can evolve that talent into something else. I mean, they get a lot of the Samoan linemen on each side of the ball, which
Yeah.
are, you know, you had like Danny Shelton come out recently. Those guys are pit bulls for the ball. The O linemen are always real big. So, and then they got Peterson running that efficient offense where, you know, that Kellen Moore got to run it. And these guys complete like 75% of their passes. And Browning's probably the best quarterback he's ever had.
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
It's really impressive what they're doing there. So yeah, we have them going 11-1, and we follow that up with Stanford at 10-2. Typical Stanford team. Probably a little less flashy on offense this year, I'd say.
Yeah, their schedule works out pretty well for them. They got some key games at home. They have a lot. Their defense is going to be good. They're going to be like they usually are. Defense running the ball. They have some question marks at quarterback, but they have like 4 guys that could all. They're talking about all of them can possibly start. So you might have something there.
Kellen Christ is supposed to be the starter.
Yeah.
He's not related to Dane Christ of Notre Dame, which I did research on that. It's important because Dane Christ sucked.
Yeah, he did.
And I think Derek Carr is like one of the few to break the mold that if your brother's like terrible, then you're good.
Right.
Um,
So yeah. So at least they're not related.
yeah. So then we go to Washington State at 9-3, and it's a really good 9-3 too.
They're tough.
They
They're gonna
are.
be tough. I mean, they have. They're probably gonna score more points than anybody in the country this
Yeah.
year. I mean-
Folk's gonna put up huge numbers. He looks like a pirate, which is hot.
Yeah, that is.
We're big into pirates.
Yeah,
we
we
worked
love
with a
them.
pirate for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, we did. He like even though like we were both his boss, he bullied the shit out of us.
He
and
was
we
so
just took
mean.
it. Yeah, he'd stare at
We're
us.
both
and
like
just-
250 plus, and he
Yeah.
didn't give a shit. He was like 70,
Yeah.
a fucking Vietnam vet. We actually don't even know that.
I just assume. Yeah.
He has a whole backstory that we made up.
Yeah.
He's been killing Somalian pirates for like the last decade before he worked at our factory.
Right.
I don't know if we even discussed that. I just assume.
Yeah.
He has his way with whoever he wants. He just
He does.
We love pirates.
Yeah. So he's the quarterback at Washington State.
That pirate.
Yeah.
And then we go to Taggart at Oregon for the 4-8.
Yeah, we have quite the drop off there in the South.
Yes, and that's where your
Or the
Pac-12 is going
North.
to look weak. is because really, 8-4 is not even considered that special. So you have USC at 12-0, Washington at 11-1, Stanford at 10-2, Washington State at 9-3, and that's where you're really going to tail off, and it's going to start to look bad after that.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's a bad conference. Like we said, Colorado 6-6. We think that's a good team.
Yeah.
It's the problem is once you get out of the top 2 or 3 teams in each side of the conference, everything starts becoming very level.
Right.
And those teams are going to beat each other up.
And I think that, your top tier teams are just, they're head and shoulders above, your mid tier. And I don't think you're going to see that many upsets in the Pac-12 this year.
No.
As far as like the top teams are concerned.
And the Pac-12's so home heavy, like home advantage heavy, that usually you do get a lot of upsets.
Right.
And
Right.
This year
so
we
it's
just
going to be a
don't
little
see
different
that.
this year, I think. Yeah, we have Oregon at 4-8.
Watch Oregon. I mean, we're both fans of Oregon, and we both follow them pretty closely. They got Herbert coming back, who looked like he had some weapons. He might be a little bit more of a pro quarterback prospect than he really is, especially for an Oregon offense, which who knows what an Oregon offense is with Taggart. But he lost a lot at the receiver position, but he still has Royce Freeman coming back at running back, which is one of the best backs in college football.
Yeah.
And then he has, Tony... It's a hyphen. Hyphens. Tony Brooks James.
Yeah, that's it.
Hyphens always get us. He has Tony Brooks James, who's one of the more explosive backs in college football, really, now that Dalvin Cook's gone. Which is another one that so many teams missed on. Dalvin Cook. He's going to be so good. You watch. So you have Tony Brooks James, who really reminds us of Black Mamba 2.0, DeAnthony Thomas.
Yeah. Not the other Black Mamba,
which is
that
Kobe
refuses to let in their video. Oregon State, we have 3-9.
This magazine that we've been kind of like using to chart our stuff. We'll read a little bit about what these teams have just to see if we're missing anything. And they have Oregon State like 4th on that side of the conference, which
3rd or 4th.
Yeah, they have nothing coming back. We don't really understand what they were thinking with that. On the level, Oregon and Oregon State are probably really comparable, and we have them 4-8 and 3-9. But Oregon has so much more firepower.
Right.
It's a little ridiculous. And then we have Cal at 2-10.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing there.
They lost Sonny Dykes, which neither one of us agree with.
Right.
So you don't know what kind of offense you're going to get there. I'm trying to check the time, so don't think I'm being weird. 7:30. So yeah, Cal is going to be 2-10, and we just don't see much out of there. We just don't see much out of that team. No, like literally no notable names.
No, they're not the Cal they used to be. They don't have all those. Mm-hmm. You were always good. Cal that was always good for like a 7-5 year, 8-4, but they'd have like, you'd have like Javid Best or Marshawn Lynch.
They've consistently had a quarterback name that's been bigger.
Yeah. Even Goff up until
Well, yeah, going back all the way to Webb and Kyle Buller.
Yeah. But yeah, they always have. So they're gonna be down this year and maybe for a couple years, but eventually maybe they'll get back up there.
Yeah, it all depends on the coaching and everything going on with that. But we're going to transition from college football and head into some NFL, which everybody likes to talk NFL. Fantasy football is, to credit for the NFL, hanging up above college football, really, because NFL has 2 things that work for it. It's gambling on games. It's a manageable amount of games every week to track.
Right.
And then it has fantasy football, which is actually probably the number one that keeps them going. It's just that college football is better all around, and I think people would admit that.
Yeah, I think so.
The NFL is just, it's a shit show, but everybody likes to talk it. We'll talk it too. It's actually not one of our favorite leagues.
No.
It keeps dropping every year with just the stupid shit that goes on. Players can't stay on the field, and it's just a mess. There's no... Yeah. Everybody always says the NFL, the parody of the NFL. Like, what fucking parody is there?
No, it's the Patriots
and the
Steelers
every fucking year. Yeah, Patriots and the Steelers, and then you got on the other side, fucking for the fucking Falcons last year. I guess the NFC's different.
A little different.
Pretty
the Giants were in it a few times.
Giants they're usually always there. Yeah, so it's more so the AFC, but it's still it's if you bet the Patriots every year, it's a safe bet.
Right.
So especially with that division, it's just garbage. So we're going to start off talking about the first week of preseason. Even though it's not completed yet, we've gotten to see a lot of the rookie quarterbacks that have gone through. And there's always overreaction to rookie quarterbacks, especially in the preseason. Last year you saw it with Dak Prescott, and I was a big Dak guy. Like I said, Cowboys fan. We both were big Dak guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the things he did in college, there's no way he
We
should have been a
loved him in
4th round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was great. And you see what that program is without him. It's ridiculous. So, I think he did things in the preseason last year, and we'll get to it, that a lot of other quarterbacks don't do, which is he was just efficient. He just
he
threw a lot of short passes and completed them, and you could tell it was something that was going to translate to the NFL. And the problems he had in the preseason, like airing it out and going deep, that was problems he had in the regular season.
Right.
So what you saw out of him in the preseason was what you got in the regular season.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our first quarterback, which is Deshaun Watson. You got like the same story out of him that you got out of Dak last year. Deshaun Watson was good for all 4 years he played in college. He's another one that, when it all comes said and done, and he's tearing it up in the NFL, and he's the quarterback that puts the Texans into the legitimate conversation of competing because they have the best defense every fucking year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a surprise to guys like us who would have taken him higher than 12. There's no question.
He had no business not going number 1. He did.
The 49ers passed on him. Stupid.
Uh-huh.
The Browns literally traded him away.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. The guy should have been a first-round pick, especially with Cam Newton and Dak Prescott playing the way they do.
Yeah. I mean, he was the best quarterback in college football over a 4-year span, and capped it off by winning a national championship at Clemson.
I thought that was another pumpkin beer.
No.
It's not.
No. It's like a little stronger.
Yeah, it's a little hopsier.
And and capped it off by beating Alabama in the national championship.
Right, and the year before he played great against
Yeah.
Alabama in the national championship.
So, and I mean, he has all the physical tools. He's got, you can see from the time he was a freshman until the time he was a senior, how much smarter he's gotten on the field.
And we're going to get to him in a minute, but Mitch Trubisky went ahead of him. Way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like, Mitch Trubisky played for 1 year, and Blaine Gabbert was the first one I could really remember that was like a 1-year wonder.
Yeah.
Didn't even do anything great at Missouri, really, but he played the 1 year, he got drafted, he fucking sucked. And then the Jags were like, well, we love that so much, we're going to do that same fucking thing again, and drafted who we've referred to as Blaine Gabbert 2.0, Blake Bortles, who fucking sucks. And he did the same thing at UCF. 1 year, fucking came out, looked above average, and he went high for some fucking reason.
Right.
And you pass on sure things.
Right.
And then here comes Mitch Trubisky, who is now our Blaine Gabbert 3.0.
Right.
And it's going to be the same fucking story. I guess we'll just skip ahead because we had Kaiser next. But Trubisky had a great preseason game. 18 of 25, 166 and a TD. Also had some pretty good rushing statistics. I forget what they are off the top of my head. But, looked really good. But it's preseason.
It's preseason.
And I know you could stand there and suck Deshaun Watson off and then go to Trubisky. But, Trubisky didn't know what hard count was. Yeah. Which is ridiculous for an NFL quarterback. We have no faith in the guy. Mike Glennon is so bad, though, that Trubisky might actually get to start in Chicago. Mike Glennon was 2 of 8 with a pick and 20 yards.
Yeah.
What they were thinking with giving him, 17 mil?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, what is that all about?
There's like 14 mil over 4 years.
Skip on Deshaun Watson. You sign Mike Glennon, and you sign Mitch Trubisky, or you fucking pick Mitch Trubisky.
The Bears are a shit show.
That was his team. Every now and then, there comes a time where, as a sports fan, it's okay to give up on your team. Okay, and we are both of the mindset that if you have a team, you should stick with them. You can't just give up because they're bad. But eventually, it's like if the same thing keeps fucking you in the ass, get away from it. and how long can you root for a team like the Bears when they just keep doing the same shit?
Yeah.
And they're shitting in your mouth.
Yeah, they do. And it's over and over again. I mean, I've been a Bears fan all my life. They won the Super Bowl in 1985. I was born in 1984, so obviously don't remember that. But it's ever since I've been watching football. I was 5 years old, whatever, and I've been a Bears fan. Just watched them over and over again. And the past, God, I mean, it's been 15 years or so, and it's just the same story. It's the same story.
Here's the thing: you had a team that was playoffs year after year, and then even made it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
they refuse to get a fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's a cold weather place. Like, quarterbacks don't love to go there. Whatever. But you can do better than Rex fucking Grossman.
Yeah.
You went to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. You
Yeah.
know, get the next step up, and you might win that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes I don't understand why these teams refuse to even try. That's why when the Ravens, you get flack a lot for Flacco.
Yeah.
It's like at least they went out. They tried to get somebody, and you know what? They fucking won with them.
Yeah, they did.
And he does great in the
They did.
playoffs. Like, I'll never knock that. I'll never
Yeah.
knock giving him a contract because they broke their own mold.
Right.
Winning a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. Like, you don't have to do that. There's enough guys out there that you can land one.
Right. And, you know, so it's just, I don't know. I just got tired of it. It's the same thing over and over and over again with them.
Here's the rule. If you switch teams, if you root for a team like the Bears and they suck for a long time, you can't pick like a rival. You can't go in division. You got to go and you got to flip the script. If you're going to root for another team because you're a sports fan and you want to root for somebody, pick something really fucking cool. Like, he went to Tampa Bay. He likes the Bucks now.
Yeah.
Completely away from Chicago. Has nothing to do with them. You know, in the same conference, but that's it. Not the same division. And he picked him because of Jameis Winston, who, I don't know if you guys have been watching Hard Knocks, but that guy is so fucking funny. He's a fucking cartoon character.
He is.
You know, if you separate whatever happened with that alleged rape situation, I'm not going to say he did or didn't do it.
Right.
I don't like to get into that conversation at all because there's no winning it. You know,
Yeah.
if you say he did it, you're prosecuting a guy that went through the due process of the law and made it through. If you say he didn't and that this girl's just making it up, you know, if she was raped,
Right.
you're completely being a dick to her. But you got to go with what you know, and what you know is he was acquitted.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the guy.
And he's funny.
Yeah. And I mean, I lived in Tampa for a brief time. I went to see a couple games. Moved back here for whatever reason.
If I didn't weigh 260 pounds, I'd get on this table and yell "fuck her" in the pussy. Right?
Yeah,
I'm down to 245.
As soon as I moved back from Tampa, I already liked them. They've always been, a top 5 team for me. And then here comes Jameis at Florida State, who, was my favorite college quarterback the whole way through. And he lands there, so it just worked out.
Yeah, it's a cool pick. And yeah, that's the rule. If you're gonna like someone other than your team, you got to pick kind of an oddball, random thing to go with it.
Yeah.
And that goes for if you're getting into new sports too. You can like an expansion team. Like if you guys haven't followed hockey and you're getting into it now, you can like the Golden Knights. I don't have a problem with that. That's fucking cool. We went with the Bolts.
Yeah.
We kind of stick with the Tampa area. I'm trying to move there anyway. It's cool. You got to go somewhere like that.
Right.
So the only other quarterback we have to talk about right now is Deshaun Kaiser. I'm a Notre Dame guy. Browns fans. We live in Ohio, as we said. There's a lot of Browns fans around here, and they tend to overreact and be stupid every single year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's one of the worst fan bases there are in all of sports. They're fucking retarded.
It's terrible.
It is really bad. Like, you guys out there, wherever you may be, might not even know anything about the Browns. I mean, they were just happy to get that Kevin Costner movie made about them, and it was just about how terrible they are.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, that's the story of Cleveland, and they fucking suck, and they overreact to everything. Everybody, Charlie Fry is the next fucking thing.
Yeah.
And these guys suck, and they just every year they're like, nope, we're gonna be 9-7 this year. We're gonna make the playoffs. Like, you're in one of the best divisions in football. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I actually thought they drafted really well this year. I thought they did
had
good.
a great draft.
Now Deshaun Kaiser, we're seeing it all over Facebook. Ooh, Deshaun Kaiser's gonna be the best thing. He's the next big thing. Start him. Notre Dame offense is ran by Brian Kelly, who is a fucking psychopath, and he's a piece of shit. I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Who's probably going to be one of our only viewers, is one of my friends. He's going to fucking be so pissed about that.
He is.
This Brian Kelly's his god.
He killed that dude in that treehouse.
He did. He killed that guy in that treehouse at a fucking Catholic
that's
school.
That's all you need to know.
He's never had a quarterback translate to the NFL. He's had good quarterbacks in college. It's because he runs that offense through him. Everything is through him. Notre Dame quarterbacks cannot do a second read because they don't have one. They throw to the very first option, which is Brian Kelly's picked option receiver, or they scramble. That's why when you get games like Stanford or Clemson, when it comes down to the end of the game and their first look wasn't open, they do like a little 2-yard rush and time runs out and they didn't get in the end zone.
Right.
Because he sucks at play calling. You know, like if you don't get that little fucking hook, or the hook is going to turn into a pump fake and then he's going to try to throw long. It's the play they run every fucking time. It was the play with Golson. It's the play with Kaiser. You know, I'm glad Zaire got out. Anyways, Kaiser had a pretty good. He went fucking 11 of 18 for 184 yards and a TD. A lot of those yards were on like 2 or 3 different passes, and both of those passes. Ooh, Kevin. We'll get back to Kevin.
Yeah.
That was a big fan of the show calling in. So Kaiser, he did the same thing. He stared down one receiver for every one of those big plays, and then he made a good throw because he has really good tools. Your take on Kaiser is a little less than mine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I never liked him in college. I never really thought much of him. I just didn't see it. I didn't see the. It's hard to say because I didn't see like the decision making, but then again, that's the way Brian Kelly runs that offense. So I just don't know. That being said, though, I was dead set against him being a top pick when they were talking about him being a top 15 pick or whatever. But I really like where the Browns got him there. I think he could be something in the future, maybe. But especially for where they drafted him, but. He's not, after one preseason game, he's not going to be the savior of your city, especially when LeBron leaves.
So, like, when you take a drag on a cigarette and the smoke goes directly into your eye?
It keeps happening to me. Is it because of that air conditioning, maybe?
I don't know. I call it dick eye. I don't know if we've ever discussed this.
I don't think we have.
I call it dick eye because, like, I assume it's exactly what it's like when you sperm in a girl's eye, if they let you do that, which is hot.
Yeah.
That's like really uncomfortable in your eye for a little bit, and you can't open it and shit. Like, that's what I call it, but it keeps happening in here right now. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, I got dick eye. Yeah. Kaiser, I just think he has all the tools. I think he has the size, the arm. It's just going to come along to if the Browns can develop him, which traditionally they can't develop any quarterback. But maybe with Jackson, it's going to be a different story. So I think there's promise there, but I want the Browns fans to calm the fuck down. It was one preseason game. We spent a lot of time on college or rookie quarterbacks. Next, we got another I Told You So. Second one of the show.
Yeah,
Two shows, 2 I Told You So's.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler went to Miami. Colin Kaepernick still sucking dicks on the corner.
Yeah.
It was just the pick. I mean, he had his best season of his career with Adam Gase.
Yeah.
It just
save that for another day.
I think we could breeze through that. A lot of that's quick topic. Because Cutler, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. Look, Cutler's going to have a pretty good year. I think the Dolphins are going to be second in that division, which is a shitty division.
Yeah, I think so.
We actually didn't cover it yet. I left it off the list altogether. The Bills are rebuilding now. We already covered the Jets. They fucking suck.
Yeah.
Pats are obviously sweet. The Bills traded away Sammy Watkins to the Rams. And it was just a ridiculous trade.
They got Ronald Darby.
No, they traded Ronald Darby. They got
Well, no, then they traded him to
to the Eagles for Jordan Matthews, which so essentially you got a couple draft picks, you gave away a little bit, and you essentially switched Sammy Watkins for Jordan Matthews, which is just like they're calling it a Bills rebuild. Like, how is that a rebuild if you're trading away the better, younger receiver?
I don't understand.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Rams made out on that.
Rams made out on that, and Goff needed a weapon, and that gives them a weapon. So that's a little bit exciting. I like McVay, that young coach for the Rams.
Yeah.
He's good looking, which means everything in sports.
It does.
If you're good looking, you're going to be good at sports because you're confident. That's why we're amazing at everything.
Exactly.
So the Bills are a joke again. So the Dolphins will come in second in that division and probably be a playoff team. And Cutler's an upgrade.
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, and it gives Cutler a chance to kind of kill the narrative about him. I mean, the Bears are such a shit show every year, and he gets blamed for it. But he's slightly above average quarterback, top 15 to 20 in the league. So what's the knock on him?
And Cutler's the best quarterback they've had in fucking 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I loved him. He was the only thing like keeping me clinging to that team. And
yeah, I mean, he's banging Kristen Cavallari.
Right.
And he smokes cigarettes all the time. So like that's just he's
perfect.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
We like cool shit. 5 minutes, so we're gonna breeze through some shit. We'll skip over Phil Jackson.
Okay.
We were going to talk about, I don't know. Phil Jackson made Dennis Smith Jr. eat an octopus. I don't know how much content that really is.
There's probably not a lot. It's
that's the end of the story. So he drafted that Frenchman because he probably ate that octopus.
Yeah, he probably did.
So that's the story there, is that the Knicks skipped on Dennis Smith Jr., who we think is going to be one of the top rookies this year and moving forward one of the best point guards in the league. They skipped over him for the Frenchman because the Frenchman would eat that octopus.
Right.
And then the Knicks were like, okay, draft's over, Phil, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Which was we're going to transition into now Melo is interested in the Trailblazers. Finally, because the Blazers have been whoring themselves out to him, and finally they're going with it. We think it could be interesting. If Melo is Melo traditionally, he's going to go there and he's going to kill that offense, and they're not going to be as good. If he sits his fat ass behind the three-point line, lets McCollum and Lillard do their thing, and he just chucks up threes, tries to score the way he can, then he's going to be good.
It's going to be a big help, yeah.
If Melo goes to the Blazers and Melo averages 15 to 17 points a game, they're a playoff team.
Agreed.
If he averages 20 or more, they're not.
Agreed.
That's the bottom line on
100%.
that. So then from that, we're going to go into Lonzo and Ingram hating Kobe Bryant, which we fucking hate.
Yeah, that's...
What we were kind of talking about is that they're from a different generation than us. I think what happens with people like us, we get old and we don't realize it, and we don't realize that there's a gap. Like these kids, like Lonzo and Ingram, are fucking both sub 20 years old. They didn't grow up watching Kobe like we did. They grew up watching LeBron, so they go to that style. That's who they know. They probably think Kobe's a dick.
Yeah.
LeBron's not a dick. He's a pussy.
Yeah. Kobe is a dick. We just love him.
Right. He is. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
But, they drift more to that everybody hugs and whatever type of shit.
Right.
They hate Kobe Bryant. So, there is a story there, and it is depressing to see Lakers legends bash Kobe Bryant, or Lakers future bash Lakers legends all the time like Kobe Bryant, but I think that's why it is.
I think so.
We were going to cover Lamar Odom. We'll get to Lamar Odom another day if he's still alive.
Yeah.
LeVar Ball and Ice Cube are going to have a 3-point shootout at Staples Center before the next game.
That's going to be badass.
That's fucking...
Yeah.
We love LeVar Ball. He's ridiculous. He's a genius, though.
He is.
So now, with 3 minutes,
3 minutes.
we're going to talk some shit.
Yes.
This is how we close every one of our shows, all 2 of them so far.
Yeah.
We talk shit about something. This week we have Durant. We're not talking shit about Durant.
Yeah.
Durant said some things about his recent trip to India. Basically, all he stated was that India wasn't what he thought it was. Basically, what happened was Kevin Durant watched Aladdin before he went to India.
Honestly, that's what he said. He thought it was all gold and gems
and the Taj Mahal,
yeah.
magic carpets and
Yeah.
all that shit. So Kevin Durant watched Aladdin, and then he went to India, and he was like, "Holy shit, this is actually like a super poor nation, and it's third world, and it sucks here." Yeah. And he said it in more delicate terms than that. He was
did.
Like, actually
He was
kind of saying almost like a, hey, this is something we need to pay attention to and maybe help these people.
Yeah.
India's fucking overpopulated. It is shitty in a lot of areas, and then it has all the riches. It's like any other Middle Eastern country.
Right.
It's huge. So there's a lot of poor areas of it, and there's a lot of problems. And basically Kevin Durant pointed that out, that it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like that here. And people got all over him about it because everybody gets triggered by fucking everything now.
Yeah, he's not allowed to say that he feels bad for India.
Right, apparently that's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah. So so now he had to apologize for it, which is ridiculous.
Which we wanted to put out there too. We love Kevin Durant apologies because they're always like Demi Lovato would say. Have you seen that new Demi Lovato
Dude,
video?
I was just going to ask you that. Me and Eric watched it on Friday.
It's so
hot. It's the hottest thing I've ever
Demi,
seen.
we love you. We know you're watching.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hot. Love that video. She finally just embraces her hotness. She just goes with it.
She does. We're going to watch that in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're going to watch that right after we get off. But she's sorry, not sorry. Here, Kevin Durant, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Every one of his apologies.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm sorry you were triggered, but you're a little bitch.
Right.
And I love it. I love when he does it. Basically, that's what he said. He said, sorry you were offended by me saying what I saw, but I was just pointing out what I saw, and you people flipped out about it, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So, Kevin Durant, sorry, not sorry, as usual. What we're talking shit about is millennials, as usual. Buck the fuck up. Stop whining. Stop complaining.
Such little bitches.
Stop it. It's so fucking annoying.
It is.
You're always whining about Kaepernick or this or that. Fucking, no, Durant offended India. No, he fucking didn't.
No.
He actually did what you people want to do and brought light to a shitty situation that maybe could be improved. There's nothing to fucking cry about there. Stop being pussies.
Just want to cry about something. If anybody even mentions something that's, a third world country, or,
Mm.
mentions anything that's different that you want to support,
Guess what? I've been to Iraq. I've been to Afghanistan. Even expecting what I was going to see, it was still fucking shocking. I would never apologize for saying it. It's surprising. They literally live in a different time period. It's fucking insane. It would surprise any fucking body from the United States that thinks they had it bad and then goes there and sees that they live in fucking mud huts. It's surprising.
Yeah.
It's not it's not a controversial issue. Saying something sucks when it sucks is not controversial.
No.
So what we're talking shit about is stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna do this again next week. Hopefully we get like 13 to 14 views this week.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
So, and you guys can leave some comments, good, bad, don't care. If you want to talk about anything else, we like to talk about anything cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking next week we maybe throw in just like talk about something that isn't sports related that's cool.
We could do that, yeah. Throw in like
so-
a 15 minutes or so of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So if you guys want to talk about anything going on in the world that's cool right now, post it and maybe we'll cover it. And we'll give you a shout out. If you like even call us little bitches or fat titty having bastards,
We'll still give you a shout out.
we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
We'll do it. So we hope to hear from you and we'll see you next week.